Welcome to Prog Will Find a Way, a podcast on everything progressive rock. In this episode, we're going to continue our discussion on the prog leanings of Led Zeppelin.
I got Physical Graffiti next. Songs remain the same.
Uh-oh.
It's out of order.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought it was Physical Graffiti first, and we could tell by what's on it.
You can tell
Rock
by
and
the
Roll
songs.
Celebration Day. Song remains the same. Rain Song. Days is Confused. No Quarter. Stairway. This must have come out first.
It had to have, or it certainly was recorded first.
Yeah.
So, do we need to talk much about that one, though? It's the live album. Everybody knows about it. Yeah. I am not I've talked about this before, that there's certain bands that really don't do much for me live, and I don't listen to them live, and Zeppelin's one of them.
Me too.
Yep, never ever did anything for me live.
I think that their studio songs are so well produced, and they just tell their own story. The live stuff, I think, would be exciting and electric to go see them, but to listen to them, I'm always picking the studio version.
Right.
That's me for this band.
Yeah. Me too. It's not a band that I've ever, and I've never owned Song Remains the Same.
I didn't until I got this box.
I mean, I think we have everything because my wife is a huge fan, but studio is where it's at for me too.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody like The Who, I like to listen to both. Pink Floyd, both. But there are, I know we've talked about. There's good stuff in both. That's for sure. Okay, Physical Graffiti. Obviously, you get the die cut.
You get the die cut.
Lots of songs on this. Lots and lots of songs.
They did a nice job.
They did everything.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna read them?
Yeah, let me read them because there's a lot. So, Custard Pie, The Rover, In My Time of Dying. Side 2, Houses of the Holy, Trampled Underfoot, and Cashmere. I mean, can you get a better side?
That side is awesome.
So, and Jay and I were talking about this. I'm not saying this stuff like, "Oh, you're back in our day," but Cashmere being like all over classic rock is a newer phenomenon because
Cashmere is like my second favorite song.
It is so.
It's so overplayed now.
No, it's so Mellotron. I love it.
But I think it's more representative of Zeppelin than the Rain Song is.
Oh, it is so Zeppelin. It is so Zeppelin.
But I love the Rain Song as a song. I think Cashmere would be my,
There's just so much about that song that I could go on for days. Side 3, In the Light.
Yeah.
Bronny Yor, Down by the Seaside, 10 Years Gone. Side 4, not my favorite side. Night Flight, The Wanton Song, which is good. Boogie with Stu, Black Country Woman, and Sick Again.
Yeah, this is one of those
kind
double
of peters out for me
double albums that, again, Sacrilege could be a single album.
Well, I mean, side 3, I really like In the Light and 10 Years Gone, but I could live with the rest, all side 4 and the other 2. It's such a great album. However, I will say that I loved these albums when I was a kid, even if I didn't like it all, because if you had a record changer, you could listen to the same band and the same album. Like because if they had sides 1 and 4 and 2 and 3 or however they used to do it, so you could put them on top of the record changer, and then you could actually listen to sides 1 and 2 without having to get up. So there's some double albums I like.
Is that how they did that?
Yeah, they well, not every one. A lot of them were side 1 and 2, but there were some albums where they were so that you could listen to 1 and 2, and then you'd have to get up and flip them both over. But then you could listen to sides 3 and 4. I think a version of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road had that because for some reason I remember listening to that album because you could do that. Not saying I didn't like the album, but that's another album
but
that
on purpose.
I can't get through that entire album in one sitting. So. It's a good album. So, all right. So, Physical Graffiti. I mean,
so Physical Graffiti to me, I think they had and this is we were talking about double albums and the whole thing, offline. But I don't know that it holds up for me as a as a statement double album
Yeah.
versus the albums that preceded it being the two that preceded it being so good. And I have friends Zeppelin friends who this is like their favorite of all time, but it just doesn't, it didn't resonate with me.
Like you said, I could make a single album out of that, and I have a Zeppelin playlist, and it's essentially a single album of that, whereas there's others where it's the full album. So now we move on to Presence, which is my favorite album. Not that I think every song is great, but Achilles' Last Stand is my favorite Zeppelin song.
Oh, that's right.
And to me, it's very proggy. To me, that's a direct inspiration for Machine Messiah.
Okay.
I've always felt that.
I'll have to give it a listen in that light.
No, the first time I heard Machine Messiah, I said, "Oh, okay, they're doing their Zeppelin," you know.
Got it.
No,
just the feel of it.
The feel of the song. It's so heavy. Like we were talking before about Van de Graaff Generator too. I like Van de Graaff Generator because they're just so primal. You know, it's like it's very prog, but there's points where the music is just really guttural, kind of. It's very aggressive, but not in a violent way. You know, it's more representation of something. And I just feel like that song to me encapsulates a lot of the stuff I like about Zeppelin. You know, it's kind of two songs, right? It's the time change but it's really heavy. I'm not the biggest fan of Robert Plant's voice overall, but I think on that one, I just think they're really into it. They're really into performing that song. And I Like Nobody's Fault has always been a fun song. I've always loved that song because it's just so angular, you know?
But this is again that moment in time on the 70s that went through, ELP went through it, that all of a sudden they did Physical Graffiti.
Yeah.
It seems like there was some time off in between, and then they came back with Presence. Yep. Yes, did that. They did Relared, had some time off, came back with Going for the One. Yep. ELP did brain salad surgery, came back with Works.
Never really recovered.
They didn't really recover. But there was this 1976-77 renaissance of these prog and hard rock bands where this was their statement. I mean, this was the time of bands really flourishing, like the Fleetwood Macs and all that kind of stuff. And these were well-known bands that were coming back with it. And this was their return statement. And it never grabbed me.
It didn't grab you,
I mean, it's got that Hypnosis kind of oddness to the thing, and everybody's like, "What is that?" So what do we have?
What's the meaning of the obelisk?
Yep. So Achilles' Last Stand.
Yes.
For Your Life. Royal Orleans. Nobody's Fault But Mine.
Love it.
Candy Store Rock.
Yeah.
Hot's On For Nowhere, and Tea for One.
It's not the best album, and you're ringing off these songs, and I'm like, but I mean, Houses of the Holy is a better album, you know, by far, and it's 4 is a better album, but there's something about that album I
don't know if it was the production or what it was. I didn't find that
So here's the thing. I believe this was recorded in wherever they recorded Duke. Isn't there? It's either Norway or Sweden, some Swedish studio in the cold, and they sound cold. It's like those. Yeah,
there wasn't a warmth to this album.
It's like the Genesis album starting with Wind and Wuthering. They start sounding cold, right? And then there were 3 sounds cold. And then Duke, it's a great album, but it just has this cold. And I think it's this studio in, I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot. Not wrong in that, but I know Duke was recorded in some cold studio.
If I had better eyes, I could probably see where it was. Recorded and mixed at Musicland Studios, Munich, West Germany.
Okay, so I'm completely wrong. Duke, however...
All right.
Duke, however...
But I didn't... You know what I didn't find about this album? I didn't find that color and warmth.
Yeah.
Which is what I loved about the earlier Zeppelin albums that I have said that I like. The first two albums, or first three, have that heaviness, right?
Yes.
And the Hammond, right?
Right.
The Houses of the Holy and the Zeppelin 4 have this kind of warmth and hard rock that
bringing a little
bring it together,
pastoral,
right?
it's countryside music.
And some of Physical Graffiti has that. I don't find any of that for me
it's cold.
On this album.
It's like I said, it's just a different, and it's probably, I always say it's my favorite album. It probably isn't, right? But Achilles' Last Stand is definitely my favorite song, and I believe my second favorite song is on there. On In Through the Outdoor.
Oh, okay.
So
In Through the Outdoor comes, and this is like the first Zeppelin album that I bought when it came out.
Okay.
Right? I loved this album when it came out.
Okay, even though it's kind of, I mean, it's... why do you, like, sound-wise, it's a little warmer than that one, but not a lot. It's
but it's got... It's showing them moving on with the keyboards and with some of the songwriting, and I just liked it better. Some of the stuff I don't love.
Right.
In the evening, I like.
Certainly, John Paul Jones's shining hour.
Southbound Suarez.
Yep.
Is okay. Fool in the Rain, I like. Hot Dog is fun. Carousel Alhambra is okay. All My Love.
Stop.
What?
Carousel Alhambra is more than
just
great.
Okay.
That's probably my second favorite Zepp song.
Really?
I love that song. The keyboards and everything. It's like, but it's grooves. Like they're bringing in. I mean, you know, they're not like the Grateful Dead doing disco beats. They were more like, and that's John Paul Jones because they were using the keyboards. They were more taking in the craft work and the which is what I like about this album relative to the rest, because and some people were like, oh, they've gone commercial or whatever, and I'm like, that's why I like that song, because it's a driving song. You know,
I don't dislike it.
I know you don't dislike it.
There's not.
It's a consistent album.
It is.
That is a consistent album. It's certainly more consistent than Presence.
Yes, but then they end with "I'm Gonna Crawl," which is kind of like when the levee breaks for me.
Okay. But it makes sense for them.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, it sure does.
So,
yeah. But I always like this album.
Yeah, and another Hypnosis cover.
Yeah, and some,
variations.
Yeah, the variations. Was that a money grab on them because of the fandom? That everyone would want to have to get all 6 different covers, and you couldn't get it until you unwrapped it?
In all honesty, I think it was a record label thing, because they did it with Abacab, and that was also Atlantic. I think it was an Atlantic thing.
You could see the cover.
Oh,
this is like getting a pack of baseball cards where you open it up and you don't know what you got until you open it up.
I wasn't paying. I heard Zeppelin, but I wasn't paying a lot of attention to the fact. I don't know. And actually, the album cover isn't one where I would be looking for all 5 variations, you know? Right. And is it the same bar that Clutching at Straws is? that's I've always wanted to know. Is there a connection between the bar in this album and Clutching at Straws? Fish, if you're listening, we'd like to know. I could probably ask him that question.
At this point, because he's retired.
I don't know if he answers questions.
He's there for you
to
discuss.
Right. So...
But it's kind of funny. So that is our Led Zeppelin moment.
And then, unfortunately...
we have Coda.
Okay, but hold on. So Bonham... So they look like they're going to go out on tour, and Bonham passes.
Yeah, Bonham.
And they're like, we're not doing this anymore.
And that's basically the end
That's basically the end, obviously, and we'll talk about Coda. They get into archive releases a little bit here and there. Plant they both have careers. Well, Jimmy Page has kind of a career, and it stops.
Well, he had did he do one solo album? Well, and then it stopped, and then he did the XYZ thing with Chris Squire and Alan White, and that never got off the ground.
Didn't he do the Death Wish? Yeah, I think he did.
It's the Death Wish soundtrack.
And then Then I think it was YYZ or XYZ, and then I think it was Outrider, or was Outrider after the Firm? The timeline I can't. But then he did the Firm, which I liked them at the time, and I think I may have seen them. I can't remember if they toured. If they did, I definitely saw them. I liked them. What I didn't like was the sound. I thought that the way it was recorded, it was so 80s and cavernous, because I love Paul Rodgers' voice, and I just thought it was a great band.
I love
the fretless bass, and it was so cold and distant. And talking about the first album, the second album wasn't as good.
But Robert Plant, I don't know. I think I have his first.
Oh, his first 2, 3, 4 albums were good.
They were.
I saw him. With Lisa actually, and the Honey Drippers opened for Robert Plant. It was wild.
That's
so
kind
it
of
was
fun.
the Pastelli covered. What was that? It's a good album, but I think it was the fourth.
Oh, the fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Little by Little, that was the single. That was when he was getting into more of the. It was the 80s. Come on.
Yeah. I did like his solo career, and I've liked what he's done. With Alison Krauss since, but he's kind of moved away from this hard rock thing. He's gotten more into his roots, which is cool and fun,
and reimagining the Zeppelin songs and then more acoustic bass. It's like a Richie Blackmore.
As I see him moving into that with Alison Krauss and doing that kind of stuff, it doesn't harken back to this for me, though.
Right. Well, and he's not going back.
Which is fine, and I don't want him to go back, but it doesn't... I wouldn't know that person is who created this music.
Right. And in further prog connections, before we talk about Coda, of course, John Paul Jones had a solo career, more modern solo career, was signed to to DGM, so he was signed to the Fripp Crimson label, put out a solo album.
Okay.
And then what was the band he did with the Vultures?
Crooked Vultures.
Yeah,
I saw them.
Okay, that was with.
That was my one Zeppelin sighting.
Okay. What
with Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age, and with
on guitar
and singing, and then on drums was Dave Grohl.
Oh, okay, there you go. So interesting band
from Foo Fighters and Nirvana.
Right. So you saw them.
I did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay. That was fun.
Yeah.
Saw them in New York.
Nice.
Now, also John Paul Jones, another prog connection, put out a soundtrack called "Scream for Help," I think it was.
Okay.
And John Anderson sings 2 songs with him.
Really?
Yes.
Are those out there somewhere?
They're out there.
Okay.
They're not that great.
Okay.
But they're soundtrack music. So
sounds like something that probably would have been on the box set.
Which box set?
Was it the cassette box set or the CD
the John
box
Anderson
set? Yeah, the John Anderson box set. Anytime I hear about these things that are laying out there in the middle of nowhere, I'm like that, they were probably destined for, what was that called?
The Where Are They Now file?
Was it CDs or cassettes? What was it?
It was CDs.
Okay.
John Anderson box set of CDs, and it came with all these foam things, and you got like the first 4, and then you would every 3 months get a new one, and then it just suddenly stopped.
Okay, after
like 6 of them.
Okay,
6 or 8.
So you got the original 4, and then there were some after that?
I believe so.
Okay,
yes.
It's you
I blocked it out because I've got all these styrofoam things that are never going to get filled.
And does anybody ever ask him about that?
I will next time I speak with him.
Okay, all right.
But what had happened was he didn't do rarities sets like that. I don't think he had the licensing for that. He did like a live show from this and unreleased demos from that and blah 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 blah.
Which makes
very
it even
cool.
worse because he could have just said, "I'm lazy. Here's 20 live shows." He could have done something.
Yes, but the John Paul Jones thing I do have on vinyl. I don't know if it's available out there.
But obviously, right now, John's in a different phase. He's in his yesism phase.
Yesism, which just came out last night. His coining of that phrase.
Right. So we'll have to wait till he gets to his yesism phase and gets back to his Andersonism phase, where he wants to put out.
I don't need him to go there. He can just stay in his yesism phase.
All right. So you'll continue to live with the styrofoam inserts if it means getting something on the yes front.
It's been this long.
What's another 25 years?
Maybe down the road, Jane will put them out as in the future.
Okay, it's the
because he's too busy with other things right now, and maybe when they mine his back catalog,
right, his archive, the John Anderson
years
archive.
from now. But yeah, he seems to be having fun on the road with the Band Geeks. So
okay, yesism, look it up. It's exactly how it sounds. Yes plus ISM.
All right, so let's finish Led Zeppelin. We have
Coda.
We have Coda.
This was the post Death of Bonham release. Post Zeppelin.
It was basically let's clean up the archives, and we're going to put out one more thing. Probably a contract thing from Atlantic Records.
Right.
That they owed them one more thing, and they're like, "Well, we're not putting another live album out. We're just going to give you some odds and sods."
Yes.
And this is what you're going to get.
So I will say that I probably listened to it when it came out, but I haven't listened to it much since. But when they re-released some of these, and I don't know if this is one of them, they re-released with bonus tracks. So
they might have. This is not. Okay, this is the straight album.
This has actually like a whole nother album of stuff that's very cool.
Which I'm sure it does because this was let's collect some stuff.
I know.
Put it out.
Right.
Led Zeppelin is still in the public consciousness.
Right.
We're putting this out, and there's still rabid fans who want this.
Right. But if you have any interest in this and you weren't aware, there's actually a new version that's remastered and all that stuff. But there's a second. I think it's a full second disc of extra stuff, and it completely makes it cool because this was not something I really ever listened to. I think there's one or two songs on there. I couldn't tell you which ones they were that I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. But the expanded one sits better to me as like kind of a archivey collection.
Yeah, this didn't ever really. I didn't buy it when it came out.
No, I remember seeing it there, and I'd be like, oh, and you would see, and I'm like, I wouldn't.
You know what? It struck me. It struck me as it is the Leftovers.
It's the worst volume 2.
And I think it was.
No, seriously, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's the worst. So it's Led Zeppelin's
we're
worst
gonna groove.
2.
Poor Tom. I Can't Quit You, Baby. Walter. I can't even read that.
Someone needs glasses.
I do.
We're Gonna Groove. Poor Tom, I Can't Quit You, Baby. Walter's Walk. Ozone Baby. Darlene. A lot of people in this one. Yeah. Bonzo's Montreux. And Wearing and Tearing.
So basically the way I thought about it, because I would hear bits and pieces on the radio, I'm like, oh, it's like the blues outcut. Outtakes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like fully formed songs and stuff that I would like.
But then I think the expanded one is. That's why. And I haven't listened to the expanded one in a while because the expanded one came out years ago now. But I remember listening to that one and being like, well, if I ever want to hear Coda, this is the version to listen to.
Yeah.
So.
And I had, truthfully, have not really given it a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's on streaming, so once, if you feel like it, throw down the background.
Yeah. But I bought these years before streaming started.
Oh, of course. So is there a book with this
no
thing
book.
too?
It's
no
just well,
okay,
let me see. This was just the cover.
Oh, okay.
This was like the thing that wrapped
around.
Oh,
okay. Right. That's a great way to have it all in one.
Right?
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments what you look like about Zepp, or if you're like, why are you guys talking about them? They're not Prog.
They're not Prog.
So they have their Prog moments.
Well, Prog did find a way, I think.
I think it totally did. But it was interesting talking about it because this is a band we've never really talked about. So it was interesting to hear what you liked and how different some of our preferences about them were, but we kind of think the same about them, which is interesting.
Prog will find a way.
If you want it to.